Odd in the City is a Sex and the City podcast and thus contains adult themes and explicit content. Listener discretion is advised.
Hi, welcome to Pod in the City. I'm Amanda.
And I'm John.
We're two besties who bonded over Sex in the City in college.
And now, 20 years later, we're reliving it like it's our very first time. Sex in the City. Pod in the City is a Sex in the City podcast and thus contains adult themes and explicit
content. No, just keep going. Keep going. Go.
Oh, come on, you faithful. Carrie is introduced to Mr. Big's mother as a friend. Miranda returns to Skipper's open arms, and Samantha runs into a man with a small penis.
I feel like you added that.
I did, because that wasn't added.
That's the most important part.
That's what I'm saying. They have horrible descriptions. And, you know, if maybe I did more work and a better job at this, I could have, prepared a little more. But
now, if you guys thought that opening we just did was a complete shit show, that was the best of 3 takes, maybe 4, and it was actually 4 takes.
You know how it goes, guys.
So we just went with it. You know us by now. Listen, we have an amazing day planned for you. It is the season finale of season 1 of Sex and the City. And of course, we needed to have a VIP guest. We have Jen from Real Housewives Recaps. Please say hello.
Hi. Oh my gosh, you said my name right. Yay.
Yay. It is a mouthful.
I know. Hi, Amanda. Hi, John. Thanks for having me on.
We're so happy to have you. I knew we needed like somebody who really knew their shit when it comes to Sex in the City. And you're the first person I ever realized that I ever clicked on a YouTube channel and was like, oh, I didn't know people were doing all this. I just grew up when YouTube was just like, you put like vines or just like Jackass, like, videos of people doing like,
that was your time, Grandma? Jeez.
Yeah. What did you used to watch on YouTube?
Like vlogs. I definitely remember like get ready with me videos, stuff like that.
I didn't even know that was a thing until I got on TikTok. What about you, Jen? What was your YouTube growing up?
Yeah, I was very late to the game. So I think I kind of got into PewDiePie a little bit, like the play along, the video game stuff. And then I have watched a lot of Get Ready With Me, so that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I think gaming things are a little too straight for me.
Okay.
If you've been listening at all here, anyone, I need gay things. So
he won't watch Sister Wives because it's not gay enough for him.
Yeah, it's
that you're
I'm being forced. I'm being forced.
Otherwise, but
yeah.
It might be so not gay that it is. Sometimes things like that work out.
Yeah, it's ironically ungay.
There you go.
But Jen, I was watching. I was at work, and this job that I fucking hated, and just like that had just started airing, and I'm like, I need to figure out like if anyone else like thinks this is just as bad as I do. And you just came up as a suggested video. And then I just watched like all of your videos like right in a row, and I was like, "This is amazing." And then we connected kind of just through our podcast right after that.
Yeah. So my funny story is I was listening to you, and I was always a fan of your and Jody's podcast. We Love to Hate Everything. And I was listening, going just grocery shopping, and you started talking about me, and I freaked out because I've never had that happen before. And I was like, oh my God, they're talking about me, because I always enjoyed your show. And so it was so surreal to hear that, because my channel was just starting to take off and nothing like that had happened. So I was like, oh my gosh, this is big. So
right.
And you and me somehow. Yeah.
And you moved on from season 2 of And Just Like That. Like I was texting you like the whole time, like the first 2 episodes, and then by the 3rd episode you're like, I'm bailing on this, I can't do it anymore.
Yeah, it broke my brain. I couldn't do it. Poor John. Just wait.
Oh yes. Yeah. So friends, speaking of, starting next week we are endeavoring into Che Diaz's finger banging kitchen extravaganza in the season 1 premiere of And Just Like That.
Whew.
And I'm very scared. I've been now, as a lifelong Sex and the City fan, ever since it was on TV, and I was way too young to be watching it. I have not watched And Just Like That. I've only been subjected to the clips I've seen on like TikTok, and especially after I read that it was just terrible. You know, knowing Samantha wasn't coming back, I was like, and it wasn't even called Sex and the City. And then I heard it was god awful, and I was like, "Fuck this shit." I'm not. And I'm even a minor fan of Sex and the City 2.
Okay.
Which Amanda thinks is one of the biggest pieces of shit ever. I love it in a camp way. I can put it on a rainy day and be fine with it. No,
I judge you a little bit for that, but that's okay.
Oh yes, but I'm saying if I'm willing to like that,
yes,
you would think that I could kind of be okay with it just like that, but it's torn my heart out in a way that's just
just you
wrong.
Wait, John. Yeah.
I do have a question for you though. Are you still up on the Housewives, Real Housewives?
Honestly, no. I've stepped back. My channel kind of has swung in a different direction.
Yeah,
so
wow.
Yeah. They always say like what you take off with is not what your channel ends up doing. It's so weird. So so get ready. You guys will be talking about something else. But I started with Real Housewives and Bravo shows and then swung into Sex and the City. And now I do mostly royal family discussions and Harry and Meghan and stuff. Yeah.
Okay, so then if you are deep in that, we're too dumb to really know what we think's going on with Kate Middleton. We try and talk about it on our lives on Mondays, and we're like,
and each time we're like, should we talk about
this? Do you know anything? And we're like, I don't know. Here's my question. Just in the last, what this has to do with Sex and the City, I don't know, but I don't care right now.
It's all fabulous fashion.
They just had a video come out like yesterday of them at a farmer's market.
Correct.
That's not Kate Middleton, right? Are they saying it's Kate Middleton? Because it's not.
Oh, I believe that it was her.
So here's the thing. With the most respect possible, I appreciate it, but John, I'm the biggest Catherine, Princess of Wales fan, and that was her. She has been recovering from surgery, major surgery, and out for months. So she did look different, but because she's recovering, and she didn't plan to have that picture taken. Now I do believe that it was
not the picture,
in the video,
the video where they're walking out of this like farmer's market.
Yes,
that shook me because I've never seen them that.
She looked fine.
Yeah,
I'm not saying she didn't look good. She looked great. Yes. I just was like, I didn't quite think that looked exactly like her in the face.
Well, and I'm with you.
And the way she walked.
Now, let me ask you this without going too tinfoil hat, because I can get deep into this. Where did you see? Did you see it on Twitter, or did you see? Where did you see
TikTok?
The video?
I saw it on TikTok.
The reason I say that
I see everything on TikTok.
People have been running these things through AI, and I know that sounds crazy, but go with me on this journey. They have. So it depends on which version you've seen. That's a thing trending on Twitter. Literally right before I jumped on here, is people are outraged because people are doctoring these photos. But I agree she looks different, but it is my belief that is her. She's just recovered from surgery. I'm just infuriated, not at you guys, but in general, because she announced that she would be out for surgery for a couple of months, and people are demanding her medical records and to see her.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I think the whole situation is so overblown and so absolutely ridiculous. Actually, I'm like, she had something done. I wouldn't want to be out
We said that
either.
yesterday, like before recording. I'm like, I just don't even believe it's a conspiracy. Like, isn't it just possible that she actually got surgery and she's just recovering from it and it's nobody's fucking business? When I was recovering from my surgery, I certainly didn't want to talk to the media or do interviews or be seen at all. It's like the most depressing thing you can do.
And now I get that, but it is also
I'm also not the princess.
Royal family.
Absolutely. And to that, I'd say she's a public persona, but not public property. And people are feeling like they're entitled. And I don't think that's right. I think it's been really mishandled, honestly, and mostly by the media, truthfully. So again, I can go on and on about this. I'm trying to not sound too tinfoil hat, but it is my belief that is her. Yes.
So what are your thoughts on Harry and Meghan? I know that's
the
more controversial. Okay. My mom can't stand them either. And Jody fucking
stand them. Thinks they're terrible. If you do any homework on them at all, they are just as bad as each other. I do think she takes the brunt of it, and I don't think that's fair. I think it's both of them. I think they're awful people. And if you look into the history and the lies and the Oprah and all that, they're awful people.
Oh, I definitely watched Oprah. It wasn't the best look for anyone involved.
No,
really.
No, I agree. No, and I think it was a lot of outrage baiting, like saying these grandiose things that weren't the case. I can go on and on about this, but yeah, I'm not a fan.
I feel like getting into the royal family at this point, I feel like I could because I love conspiracy theories. I love true crime stuff. Like I get obsessed with this shit, but I feel like starting an interest in the royal family now would be like taking on like a series, like I just started watching Grey's Anatomy like 3 months ago, and I caught up in 3 months.
Nice.
But it would be like that. It's so daunting. Like for me to start now, there would be so much information for me to catch up.
Oh gosh, I got so into it. I actually was able to go to coronation. I was waved to by the king. Like I was near Princess Anne and stuff. I'm really into this stuff. Like it's my life. Yeah, I love it.
I mean, maybe I'm a negative person about it, but I feel like that's just like kind of a dying institution. No?
I'm going to say, big fat, you're wrong. Again, with respect, listen, I think that's what makes things interesting. We're allowed to feel that way, and that's fine. I feel differently. I mean, I'm not as big of a Charles fan as I am, King Charles, as I am like the Prince of Wales, William, and I am, of course, my favorite is Catherine, Princess of Wales. So I'm always going to be more into them and their story. And they have an heir. It's Prince George. So it's interesting to see the younger ones coming up and of course, Princess Charlotte and Prince Louis. I keep up with all of it. I'm very fascinated by it.
So in our Monday lives, if anyone starts in the chat talking about the royals or they want us to talk about that, we're just going to send them right over to
come on over. We can talk about it.
She's got all the tea.
I'm so into this stuff. I could go on and on.
You post a video like every day, don't you?
At least today I posted 2. Yeah, sometimes I post 3. Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
I haven't missed in I think going on 2 years. Yeah, I don't miss.
Holy shit. I struggle to like get myself together to record one fucking episode for one. Like,
tell her about your Barbie channel that you started.
Tell me.
So I was gonna start a Barbie unboxing channel and realized it's kind of too hard. Recording YouTube videos and like editing them and stuff. Like I like what you do. I feel like I like the photos with like the narration. Like I'm like, okay, I could see myself kind of trying to jump into that.
Absolutely.
I like that.
I'm not trying to be the focus of anything. I think the stories are the focus. So that's honestly, it's not that I have anything to hide. I don't think I'm going to add anything to it. I'd rather just talk about these things.
Yeah, well, Amanda and I are vain only
we're both too narcissistic to not make it about ourselves. So here we go.
Just ask Linda, all right? So Linda's our friend. All right, so should we, do you think we're ready to get into this episode?
Oh, I'm ready. Now, Jen actually requested this episode, which I think is perfect. As we guide our way, she's handing the torch of it just like that over to us, and it will be in good hands with us.
Well, this is the last time I'll feel peace.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no,
I'm just so excited to see your reaction. I can't wait. I'm so excited.
You know, one thing I did want to ask you.
An episode of that.
Okay. We're trying to figure out a way to. We're trying to figure out a way to like do a live recording reaction to it.
Okay.
Yeah, and we don't know how to do that. So we're outsourcing. If anyone knows how to do that, that'd be great.
Yeah. It's a little different on if you're trying to do this through YouTube. I don't know of a way to do that. You'd have to point the camera yourself and really turn down the volume and just have tell people, okay, hit play in 3, 2, 1, and then they just watch it and listen to you. You could do it that way because
but we can't play the whole episode on the screen, right?
No, you cannot.
Not on YouTube, but could we make the video and post it on like Patreon?
Oh yeah, you can post anything you want on Patreon. Yeah, I've done that. Absolutely.
Okay.
I did the whole. I reacted to the whole series of Sex and the City on Patreon. Hell yeah!
And how did you do that? Did you have the video on the screen?
No, I did photos, but you can't. Patreon isn't YouTube. It's totally separate. You upload photos to there, and it's just a private thing.
We have about 48 hours and change to figure this out. And I don't see it happening, but...
You know what, Amanda? On the line, we're good. We got this.
You got this.
That's right. We both work way better under pressure.
I mean,
you got this. Yeah.
All right.
But I can talk to you offline if you need any help. I'm glad to help.
Okay, well,
we love
you're going to regret saying that.
You.
It's like 2 o'clock in the morning. Your phone's blowing up. All right. Miranda is dating Thomas John Anderson, an up-and-comer New York playwright. And is this the first time we've actually seen Miranda come? Because I hated it. I really hated watching it.
And can I just tell you, I had a food delivery happen. I'm not even joking. Right. I was texting a man. I was like, oh my God, I just got my food delivered. And the guy thinks I'm a big old perv because I didn't even think about it. She's going, oh. And then he's like, I hear him at the front door. I'm like, oh my God, he thinks I'm watching porn in the middle of the day.
Well, I'll say, yeah, I live in Arizona, and so the weather is like amazing. I had all my windows in my house open, and I'm listening to that guy going, oh, and I'm just like, oh, good call. But you know,
yeah.
My neighbors are probably used to it.
Yeah.
Okay, so my opinion on sex in media, like, listen, I love porn. Like, I love watching a sex scene as much as the next guy. I just don't really need it in my movies. Like, you don't need to show me it. I get it.
Right.
Like, if the lights go down and then they fall down to the bed, I'm like, okay, so they had sex. I don't need to see it unless something in the sex specifically is going to impact the whole story.
Absolutely.
Like, I get it.
Who is this for? It's not, it's like, is it supposed to be funny or just to,
I think they think it's funny, but it's gross.
I think they do think it's funny.
Well, this was written by Michael Patrick King, and I don't have a high opinion, so there you go.
Michael Patrick's fuckface, isn't that what you called him?
I call him Michael Patrick Dickhead, yeah.
Okay, I changed it to fuckface in my
that works too. He is. If you ever listen to any of his he does podcasts on his own episodes, and he is so up his own ass.
He's more narcissistic than us, John.
Well, I mean, you're more narcissistic than me, and then so he must be just like outrageous.
I don't know about that. Anyway, yeah, I don't need to see Miranda. It's like the Sopranos. Brad always he's like, I don't need to see what James Gandolfini looks like when he's like coming every episode. Anyway,
but the real thing is that this guy needs to shower after he comes.
Yeah, this is so a non-issue. This is just an example of Miranda blowing up her own life.
This is
for no reason.
This is me. I mean, I don't have the same reasons as this guy. I'm not washing off because of sin. I just don't want cum all over me.
If it wasn't a death-defying stunt every time I got in and out of the shower because of my ankle, I would probably do this. But just the thought, I have to really gear myself up for taking a shower. I have a huge handle down here for when I take a bath, and then a huge handle on the outside of my bathtub. And when I get in and out, I have to like grab onto them so hard.
I might suggest that physical therapy again, right?
Anyway, this guy showers after sex. Because this is Miranda, she just decides to just ruin everything. And she also thinks that the best idea is once he's done with the shower, she's going to bring it up.
Yeah. The whole theme of this episode, and I feel it here, is secondhand embarrassment. I'm embarrassed, even though the guy is probably wrong for doing this, I'm embarrassed for Miranda. Like, it doesn't seem like they've been dating that long. Like, I don't know. Is this...
Well, this is a running theme that we've noticed is they love to just jump in and pretend someone's been with someone for 50 years. Someone's known someone for a lifetime, and then you never see them again. Miranda just happens to be dating this man for... I don't know, long enough to care that he showers after.
Long enough to be like offended that he wants.
I would be like, good for you, sweetie. Get that sweat. Go ahead, clean off. I don't give a
sorry
shit.
that he doesn't want to lie in his own cum and sweat.
It's the opposite of that guy that overate her, right? With the all over. Remember
the Krispy Kreme?
Yeah,
we all.
So I'd much rather have shower guy than Krispy Kreme guy.
I remember being shocked when they showed his like face. I've never seen anything like that on TV before. It's like, whoa, they really shined that up.
That's right. Oh my god! But I'd much rather be with Shower Guy than Krispy Kreme Guy.
Oh yeah.
I liked Krispy Kreme Guy, except that he wanted to kiss her after eating her out, I guess.
Oh,
you know what though? I gotta say, sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. If you've done that, like I don't really want someone kissing me after they've like sucked my dick or wherever else they've had their mouth, but you just kind of gotta go with it.
It's fine. Everything kind of just tastes like sweat and disgustingness after a while.
Yeah, at that point,
just the whole room just stinks. Anyway, but the problem here isn't even that he like wants to like clean himself off and not feel dirty. It's more that she has an issue with the fact that he is religious at all, which I think that that's so cunty of her to even have that kind of opinion. You're mad at someone for being religious? That's ridiculous.
I think so too. I totally agree. Now, behind the scenes note that I'm fascinated by, this guy is John Benjamin Hickey. Just so you know, he was in oh my gosh, I just lost the name of it. He was in the show with with Mr. Big, a Good Wife. They were in there together.
Oh,
so he's from Broadway too. John Benjamin Hickey. That name is from Broadway.
The Normal Heart. He was in The Normal Heart.
Oh, okay.
He won a Tony Award for The Normal Heart.
Okay, I'm like, I thought I remembered that guy.
He also was in the Gossip Girl reboot, which I didn't watch, but I heard it was as bad as And Just Like That reboot. So.
I don't think anything is.
So maybe we should watch it. Yeah.
Also, Joan, he was in the Broadway revival of Cabaret. He played Cliff. Maybe that's where you know.
Yeah, it probably.
Yeah, for sure. He was on an episode of Modern Family.
Okay,
all right.
Now,
anyway,
I'm gonna rewind here for a second because I do kind of get her feelings of him because his reasoning for wanting to take the shower was because nuns told him that sex was a sin, and he has this hang up about. That's why he takes a shower, is because he's washing off his sin. I would feel I would be like.
Would you really let it bother you that much if that's like the one thing? That's his one thing.
I'm with you, Amanda. It depends. And it doesn't seem like they've been together that long. So I probably would keep my mouth shut and wait till... It depends on how good the sex is, though, too. It seems like she was enjoying it. So
it didn't look very good, babe.
No. It didn't look great, but she seemed to be enjoying herself. So I thought, well, just go with it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's not like this is specific. I'd be pissed if it was specific to just me. And I found out later that he never did this with any other girlfriends. Then I'd be pissed. But if this is just a thing he does, like, who cares?
Okay, but I would... Yes.
Hot guy is over. This happens. And he's like, okay, I got to shower. Are you immediately saying something or are you just letting him do his thing?
I would join him in the shower.
I was thinking that too. That's another option. I wonder if that's an option for him.
Love that. But I'm going to go back and say that I kind of feel like I wonder, though, if he has this kind of hang up about nuns thinking it's a sin, what else is there? There has to be more. Come on.
Okay, but I went to a Catholic school.
Is he going to be worried about you doing sinful things? Is he going to be like scared for your soul?
Like, so she's like, Miranda realized she was dating Catholic guy, but I would say if you're going to choose a guy that's like religious, Catholic guy, that's an easy breezy one.
Yeah,
Catholics get away with like they don't give a shit. They drink.
I was raised Catholic.
Oh, okay.
And there's Catholic guilt. All right. There's a lot of Catholic guilt.
I don't think mine is even Catholic guilt. Mine is just like Curlic guilt. Like my mom guilt. I didn't need religion. Even
girl, I got guilt on all fronts. Yes. Trust.
Yeah.
It's all around.
But Catholic guy's good. I mean, I would understand if it was like fundamentalist Mormon guy or like Southern Baptist guy, like a real extreme religion.
I think when you're gay, I don't run into a lot of gay guys that are like super religious.
Right. I understand that.
Because a lot of religions kind of just shun us out anyway. So, we're not all that attracted to it. A lot of them have religious trauma.
Sure.
So that's maybe why I'm sparked by this thought. And I'm thinking, what else? This guy has some religious trauma, I would think.
But how quickly are you speaking up about it? If he does it one time, are you speaking up, or is it?
I honestly probably wouldn't even care at all, because for me,
Mm-hmm.
I would want to. I wrote, one of my notes was like, why is this me though? Because I would want to get out of bed immediately and shower too, but just for different reasons, just for like a cleanliness thing. And so I wouldn't question it at all, actually.
But if he starts throwing around the religious thing, he
kind of does like immediately come and then jump off of her, which is kind of that's maybe the weirder part. It's not that
there's like droplets on the floor leading to the bathroom.
Seriously, it's like he just pulls out of her and runs to the bathroom. So that part would be like, okay. Well, that's what I kept thinking.
Like,
is
still
she
coming out?
She doesn't seem happy at the end. She doesn't. She's just like, okay, like it's over.
Yeah. You know what always bothers me in movies and TV in sex scenes? Whenever it's all like where a guy will have to pull out really quickly because like he got a phone call or something, the woman never makes a reaction like a like you would have a reaction because like this thing has been in there that whole time.
Right.
There's a feeling, at least, like a sensation where you go,
there's also
it's not comfortable.
There's a high probability of like a queefing type situation, or a little bit of a release.
We had a whole queefing episode a few episodes.
Please listen back 3 episodes if you'd like to hear all about queefing.
How dare you not invite me on for the queefing episode? I thought we were friends.
All right,
hey, so queefing happens to all the best of us, right?
I don't know. It happened to guys.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
According to John, it does.
Yeah,
it does make sense. It's air.
Yeah,
it's air trapped somewhere.
Yeah.
All right. And then Carrie. Anyway, Carrie's thing is are relationships the religion of the 90s? It's kind of a. I feel like that needed a punch up at some point.
I'll say like I thought this finale, this as a season finale, didn't do much for. I mean, I love this episode. I think great things happen.
Carrie's is pretty good.
Yeah.
Like
I get what you're saying though, John. It doesn't feel like it doesn't feel like a season ender. I mean, I understand the big at the end that we'll get to, but just in general, I'm with you. I picked this one because I think Carrie looks like an asshole, and I love to make fun of when Carrie looks like an asshole. So
yeah, that's all I have. That's all of my notes.
I'm like, just get over yourself. Go on the fucking trip. Take a free trip. Shut the hell up.
God. When you get back from the trip, just go.
And I'm sorry, Amanda has gone on some crazy trips with crazy men with disgusting abnormalities, and compared to those, I mean, she knows. I'm sorry, I'm not offending you on my.
No, fuck this recap, Amanda. Talk to us. What's going on now?
Oh,
do you think
Amanda's listeners know about her vacation?
I'm like, yeah. No, they're hidden. They're
bloody. There was like a guy with constantly bleeding moles that she went on a trip with.
No.
So I'm saying,
one on his face that always was bleeding.
I'm saying, Big doesn't want to introduce you to his mom. Come on, go on the fucking trip.
That guy introduced me to his mom on like our second date because he lived with his mom. So
see, this is what I'm saying. And Amanda went on a trip with this man, and Carrie can't go with Big.
That's true.
To the Bahamas and didn't pay for anything.
Like for real.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna get there. So many thoughts on this. Agree.
Okay.
Anyway,
so because they're talking about are they all talking at the bar? They're just talking about the religion. Are they at the bar? No.
Yeah.
A relationship.
Let's see. Hold on.
Carrie's just now at the church.
Carrie sees. Carrie sees Big with his mom.
Okay, so she, I guess Miranda just told her. So Carrie now, hardworking Carrie decides to do some research by like peeping in on some like unsuspecting Catholics coming out of church, and she's just standing there in like Adidas pants and like I didn't
understand the point of this. Like she's just
what's
like,
your story gonna be?
Let me look at these
notes on what they were wearing. Yeah, it was like an anthropology study more than anything. It's very weird. Yeah.
Oh, are they showing leg? Are they horny?
Armani on Sunday.
What is she getting from her sex column based on what she's watching?
No, she's so weird about sex, and she's a sex columnist. That will never not be. I could talk about that every episode. So
it's way worse than and just like that though.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And then Che Diaz is like in the elevator, and she's like, "Hang on, I just need to, if you don't mind, I just need to light this full joint in the elevator because I can't fucking wait. Hotbox this elevator. Hope you don't mind."
Yeah.
Where?
You're an asshole if you're offended by it.
Yeah. I smoke pot, and I don't want to walk into an elevator that's like reeking of weed. I'd be like, what the hell happened in here? Anyway, they're like, Carrie, you need to be less scared about talking about sex. Like they're constantly on Carrie about being more skanky on the podcast. Because Che and Bobby Lee are just so funny. The jokes they tell on that podcast. Oh my goodness. Yikes. All right. Carrie's
just shutting down when I
just you wait. You will shut down. The last brain cells you got left, they're going bye-bye when you watch that. Yeah.
John sent me, he got his TikTok algorithm is working real well. And he's like, what the fuck is this show? And he sent me a clip of, and just like that, where Anthony and his,
Anthony's starting like a bread company, and then all his workers are doing steroids in the bakery.
Yeah.
Why is he even oh my good God.
He's the best part of the show.
Yeah.
Are you actually? No. I love him. Now, I love him. I think he's hilarious in the show. I don't need to follow his full storylines.
You're gonna.
Yeah, it's gonna be the most interesting part. I'm not trying to spoil anything. All I can think of is he has the best line in the whole series. Remember when Charlotte's dinner guest says something terrible? No, I don't want to spoil it.
Just say it.
Okay. Something to do. I can't even remember exactly. It was like anti-Semitic, right? And then he yelled.
I do remember that.
Said, "Get out of here! Get out!" Remember, like he was so excited to introduce the guy, and he had to kick the guy out because he was being awful.
God, it's all a blur to me. All I know is that his storyline wraps up with him taking it in the BUTT.
That's what I was gonna say. That's what I've been spoiled at so far, is that he takes it up the butt. For the first time ever, Anthony Marantino takes a dick up the butt for the first time ever. Got it.
All right. So Carrie sees Big at the church, and he like notices her, and he walks over, and she's like, "Hey, I'm writing a column on closeted Presbyterians. You know any?" And he's like, "Well, I'm atheist, but don't tell the preacher." And she's like, "Who's that woman?" And he's like, "Oh, it's my mother. I take her to church every Sunday." And Carrie is also alarmed by this because God forbid Big does something that she doesn't fucking know about. And then he's like, "Do you want to go out for coffee or lunch?" And she's like, "No, I'm on a deadline." I'm like, "Oh, you are?" Because I couldn't tell because you're just wandering around.
He has to take her for 20 minutes. And she's like, "Sorry, my cappuccino just kicked in. Gotta write." Yeah. 20 minutes?
20 minutes. Yep. Yeah. No, it doesn't make any sense at all. I feel like this is the start of Carrie being an asshole this episode because it's the most we've seen of her. But yeah, absolutely. He makes it clear this is something I do on Sundays between me and my mother.
I would think that's sweet.
Yeah.
I would be like, "Oh my God, I love that." Like, now I get it.
He's not trying to like pressure her into anything. He's never even mentioned it. So he's the opposite of Miranda's guy. You know what I mean? Like he's not even openly talking about it. So what is the problem?
Carrie just wants to know everything about Big, and it just sets up this idea that really they are kind of opposites in everything.
Yeah, I used to be on Carrie's side for the whole series, and I was like, he just needs to open up to her more. And now as an adult with major boundaries, I'm like, okay, he doesn't have to tell you every fucking thing about his life.
Okay, he could be more open.
Yes. Yeah, no, they're both flawed. But
he's
Carrie's
withholding.
She's shocked, and like the voiceover is like, "It's just crazy finding out a new thing about the person that you thought you knew everything about." I'm like, okay, you haven't even been together in like 9 months. So I'm like, you really thought you knew everything there is to know about this man? Chill out. So anyway, they're at the bar now, and Carrie's like, "Well, I actually think it's sweet." And Charlotte's like, "No, that's great. That means that he has a good relationship with his mother," which I agree with. That is a good thing.
Yeah,
that's a major green flag. Well, to a point. You also don't want a guy who's way too close to his mother. Because I've been there, and it's a major problem too. Yeah, like you don't want that. But anyway, so and then Miranda is still mad about this this guy with perfect hygiene, and she's like, oh, it's a slippery slope, Carrie, because one day you're just going to end up with the guy who needs to shower after sex.
Yeah.
So okay.
Yeah.
I feel like they just had that storyline to introduce that Big goes to church with his mom.
I think
they're
you're
trying
right.
to weave that in.
I think so too.
Now Samantha shows up late and she's like, okay, so this is an episode. There's a few of these where Samantha's like a clone of her,
yes,
like an AI
She's
version
had
of
a
her.
brain transplant. Yes.
Yes, like it's not Samantha. This is
It's
absolutely
not
not
Samantha.
There's
You're right.
there's an episode in season, I think 2, where she like meets up with her ex-boyfriend and they sleep together, and she's like on the bed and she's like, and then same thing happens. He like dumps her again and she's all like depressed. I'm like, this would never happen.
Yes. Yeah, no, I agree that I don't love this for Samantha at all. I felt, again, I go back to secondhand embarrassment. She's at the jazz.
This part is so funny. Well, I love jazz.
I know. Oh my God. And then it brings up the real life reminder that tell me you know what I'm talking about with the jazz moment.
Shabba-da-bee-yab, zabba-doo, hey!
Oh my God, secondhand embarrassment and cringe. And I love Kim Cattrall, but no.
Oh, that thing is that is one of the funniest. I watch that like yearly.
She's an artist, y'all.
I got scared. You got quiet. I thought, oh my God, the cheese stands alone. You don't know what I'm talking about.
Oh no. Oh no.
Okay, good. I figured
that is
did,
deep lore over here.
Well, like he laid with the he dogs and got all the she dogs. Samantha shows up late. She was out with James, and there's this backstory. Yeah, so she's at this jazz club, which again, I'm like, Samantha's going out to a jazz club. Like, this is just not
alone.
Samantha. Alone to a jazz club. Ugh.
But Amanda, remember that episode you're talking about is coming back to me where she doesn't act like herself. Didn't they meet back up at a jazz club? It had something to do with a jazz club again. He took her to a jazz club.
Probably. Yeah, because she just goes out. She just goes out alone.
Jazz makes Samantha crazy. Yes.
I guess, yeah, it makes her really feel love. So this conversation, he walks up to her and he's like, I couldn't help but notice you swaying to the music. And she goes, well, I love jazz. And he goes, that's pretty clear. And she goes, are you a musician? And he goes, yeah, trapped in the body of a lawyer. And she goes, well, we won't tell anyone. And
my God. You nailed that, Amanda. You nailed it.
We've both been working on our Samantha impression. It's
fabulous.
There's an episode a few back where they're talking about butt sex, and she's like, and honey, with the right guy, it can be fabulous.
Yeah.
I mean,
oh my gosh, that's so good. So good.
So they close the joint. They're like, oh, they closed the joint down. And I'm like, oh, I'm sure the employees loved them. They're like putting the tables on the chairs on the tables. They're like, get out. They close the joint down. They're walking down the street eating a Krispy Kreme. Back to the Krispy Kreme.
Now,
back to the Krispy Kreme.
The shocking part here is that she swallowed that bite of the donut.
I know. It was like, she's like, you get
waiting
one
for
take
a cut.
of this.
She swallowed it. I was shook. I was
good catch.
Utterly shook.
I missed that. I'm shook now too.
So the crazy thing is that Samantha doesn't invite him in. She wants to.
Did you see his hands? Did you see his hands? By the way,
no.
When he touches her face. Well, I do have a long-standing thing. I like big hands, and Adam Driver, who we talk about over on our Patreon, on girls. He has big hands, and we like to talk. At least I noticed them. And this man, when he does the face touch
and
with
she
Samantha, that
like
makes her quiver. His fingers and hands were just so big. Anyway.
Okay. Right.
Anyway, y'all, as I'm in my fantasy. Anyway.
That's right. Well, his real name is James Goodwin, and I think you guys would make a very cute couple. So there you go.
Thank you for doing actual research here for us.
Yeah.
I meant to, and then I got sidetracked.
I got doing that shit. He's James Goodwin from Guiding Light, if that helps. If anybody
I
watches
do think
anything
he's
else?
hot. He's hot.
He's cute. Yeah, I think he's cute.
But
I think the jazz ruins it though.
I couldn't do the 3. I couldn't do a 3-inch hard dick. I couldn't.
Oh, he's like, he was in Guiding Light, All My Children, and Another World, and the movie Serendipity.
Oh, okay. Kate Beckinsale and John Cusack.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wait, where are we? Okay, so she's like in love with this guy, and back at Samantha. Oh yeah, so we're back at the bar with her telling the story, and she's like, I never believed I could actually find a man who I could talk to. And it's all thanks to Charlotte. And Charlotte's like, me? What did I do? And Samantha's like, all that bullshit you spew about not sleeping with men right away actually paid off. I mean, if I fucked James already, who know where we'd be? So we find out that they have not had sex yet. This episode is always in my head. Like, this is such a major reference point for me in my dating history. I always think of this, where it's like, you should sleep with the guy and find that out real quick before you fall in love.
I think it's okay to wait the first date. First 2 dates, but then at least feel it. At least feel it up.
Yes.
I'm up close and personal with it, sure.
You're telling me that Samantha has
tell.
kissed this man multiple times and has never felt his hard dick. Well, we find out why later, I guess.
Yeah.
It was hidden somewhere.
Yeah, because like even if you're just making out with someone after like the first date, yeah, you can like maneuver
as a man,
your way in to kind of get like
come on,
like okay, all right, I can feel it.
As a man, if I'm making out with anyone I like,
you're grinding all up.
You're gonna feel something.
You're just sword fighting with
your golf pencil. Yeah,
come on.
All right. So she's like, I would actually consider marrying him. So this freaks out Charlotte. And so she goes to see Noni Stein. Did you get this woman's name, Jen?
Yes, I did. But can I say one thing? Yeah. I just think Charlotte's kind of an asshole here because Samantha is a little bit older. So what if she finds somebody first? It doesn't mean I was the last of my girlfriends to get married. Who gives a shit? Like you find
and Charlotte, I think, has had sex with more people than anyone in this first season.
I think so too.
She's the sluttiest one.
Deal out of her, like, you know, in that episode where Samantha has to get the HIV test. And they make a big deal out of Charlotte like not speaking up about it, implying like she hadn't been with as many people. I'm like, bitch, you've been with more than the rest of them.
Yeah. Also, like in the show, I think Samantha's almost 10 years older than them.
I think so. Something like that. I think
she's supposed to be like 40. I feel like she's starting at 43.
Okay.
But I think the other ones were like 34, right?
Yeah.
Figure that
Miranda's turning 34 in the very first episode.
Okay. Gotcha.
So Carrie's like going to turn 34, I think. And so they're all about 33. So yeah, she's 10 years older. Charlotte sucks. But anyway, Noni Stein, I love this actress. She's in my favorite movie of all time, Requiem for a Dream. But what's her real name?
Oh, I did not get that.
Oh, okay. I'm
a failure.
God, Amanda, why? Jeez. Throw our guest under the bus.
No, it's okay. I usually do. I missed this one. I didn't write it down.
She did look really familiar, though. I feel like she's probably in an episode of Broad City or something.
She's probably in an episode of Grey's Anatomy.
Gives me that vibe. Oh, well, who isn't
in an
episode
City
of Grey's Anatomy? Well, Jen, actually, this week we're covering Broad City on our Patreon. So,
oh, nice! That's such a fun show.
Yeah, we do Designing Women, Girls, Broad City, and Golden Girls.
Oh, nice! Have you seen all the Broad City episodes? I love them. My favorite is when she gets the wisdom tooth. It's the wisdom tooth episode.
Me and Jenny covered that for 2 years. All right.
And she goes to Whole Foods.
Hunting episode. Yes. Yeah. Manuka honey. Oh my God, I sounded like Samantha. Manuka honey.
Oh, fabulous. Oh my God. I'm going to.
So Charlotte's getting her card reading and Noni gets her to cut the deck and she's like, do you have any questions? And Charlotte's like, I want to know, when will I get married? And the first card is the Ace of Wands, which is for prosperity. Second one is 9 of Cups, which is for strength and independence. And then the Hanged Man, which means a new awakening. And she's like, you're a strong, independent woman who has great success in her future, but I just don't see marriage. And Charlotte's like, what? And she's like, marriage, I just don't see it for you. And Charlotte's like, how can you just say that? Like, what about my feelings? And Noni's like, honey, I'm a psychic, not a shrink. At Big's apartment, Carrie and...
One second. Right there, I always find this fascinating, so I have to say it. When they're flipping over those cards, you can see the boom mic. It's visible. I always find that interesting when that happens, and it happens a lot on this show. I feel like it was filmed one way and then shown another, so the mics show up a little bit more, and you can
see the boom mic in the reflection of the card, or you can actually see the boom mic. You can actually see
the boom mic in the shot.
Oh, I never know, but I did notice that during this next sex scene with Miranda, you can see the tensor bandage around her boobs.
Oh, okay. I always look for that too. That's interesting.
Now, would you go to a tarot reading situation like this?
Yeah, but I wouldn't take any, I wouldn't be like Charlotte and
totally
freak out about it.
But I feel like there's certain questions you shouldn't be asking. And one of them is, will I get married? That feels like, especially if that's really important to you, it feels kind of like you're setting yourself up there a little bit. No?
Yeah, and also, basic.
Yeah. I'd probably go if I was like drunk and on a girl's night, but I wouldn't just seek him out on my own,
Yeah. I feel like the three of us would go out in our 20s and get wasted, go to a tarot card reading, and then get our nipples pierced together.
Exactly. And then laugh and be like, can you believe they said that? But I wouldn't take it seriously, No,
Charlotte now spirals to go in a full downward spiral. But now we're back at Big's apartment, and Carrie and him are eating pasta. Sure. And she wants to go. She's like, this is insane. She's like, so this whole church thing, I would love to go and meet your mom. And then Big says, oh, it's actually just a private thing between me and my mom. And she gets all butthurt about it.
Yes. It is ridiculous and too presumptive of Carrie, I think. Yeah, no, it's just Carrie being an asshole and trying to control the situation.
Well, do they even really say how long Big and her have been together? Do they say 5 months?
She says a few months here. She goes, at the very end, she says, we've been together for months. Which to me indicates less than 6 months, honestly. Because if it's over 6 months, you would say almost a year. Even then, yeah.
Her and Big aren't, they don't seem exclusive.
They are exclusive because remember, she wanted him to stand in the same spot as her.
Oh, yeah, stand still, yeah. Or whatever.
Okay. Well, how long has passed since that? That's where,
But Charlotte's fucked 20 guys since then.
Yeah, exactly. They never seem completely solid, especially in these early seasons. So, well, even in the later seasons. So I'm saying, no, I don't think it's crazy that she hasn't met the mom. I mean,
well, in last episode, she just is so nervous. Last episode, she farted, and then she paints her entire kitchen because of it. After one
That's what I'm saying. So
yeah.
And especially maybe be like, hey, could I go to meet your mom at lunch?
Yes.
I wouldn't want to go to the you couldn't drag me to church with my partner and their mother.
And then there's also something to be said. Well, yeah, that too. I don't want to meet the mom, but I do pretty well with parents. But I feel like I have little things that I do with my mom. I wouldn't want a guy to invite himself to our Costco trips together, or John has a standing. Do you still have season tickets to the Broadway Palm Dinner Theater with your grandma?
The Broadway Palm Dinner Theater doesn't exist anymore. But I go to the Hale Center Theater with my grandma. That's where we saw My Fair Lady, and I decided I.
I was wondering. Okay,
that's where you decided what? I missed what you said.
I never want to see My Fair Lady again.
Okay.
Deep cut here, but My Fair Lady's over 3 hours long and very boring.
Oh my god!
So
yeah, a good third of it could be easily.
If anyone asks you to go see My Fair Lady, just don't.
I'm good. Okay. But I'll go with your grandma if that helps.
Yeah.
What if you were dating a guy and he's like, I want to go to the Hale Center with you and your grandma? Wouldn't you be like, that's
I would probably invite. No, I would probably invite him anyway. We have, I wouldn't care about that, but I also think it is very, very important to have time individually from the person you're in a relationship with.
Yes.
I find that people often, inexperienced too, with even friends. I've had certain friends that I'm like, hey, let's go out to dinner, and they feel like they need to invite their
have you met those couples
husband
that
or whatever?
Do
and I'm
literally everything together. I would go.
It's annoying. Yeah.
But then I feel bad being like, hey, can we just hang out the two of us?
You can't say that.
You can't, and that is actually, I'll say that's kind of why some friendships I have had have kind of fallen a little bit, maybe from over the years, is because then like they get a new partner or relationship, and then they want me to pretend that that person I can be friends with the same way that I was friends with them before or whatever, you know.
It's not the same. I get it.
No.
Where are we at Big's? Okay, so he's like, no, I don't want you to come to church with me and my mom, but would you like to go to the Caribbean? Which, I mean, it's a Hail Mary, but yeah.
Yes.
Today, I would go immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she's like, oh, I can't afford it. I mean, this is perfectly played. Also, I'd be like, this is sweet. So every time he like really fucks up, he'll just take me on like a trip if I just have kind of sad about it.
Oh, you think that's why he was doing it?
Yes, it was like immediately after because she's all pissed off and he's like, "You want to go to the Caribbean?" Yeah, I think this was like a, how do I get out of this?
Yeah,
like I don't want.
Well, I'm the best at picking fights, especially if it results in a vacation, right?
Really?
I can convince you that you called me fat. If you said hello, how was your day?
If I said, "Hey, you're beautiful," you just called me fat.
Well,
take me to the Caribbean.
No, Jen, this is one of the times I got like snippy with Jody. We had to like I know the screen is possibly frozen or just mine is, but it'll come back. Don't worry. Before we record, she'll always be like, "Oh my God, you look so good." And finally I was like, I need you to stop saying that because it's condescending. It comes across as very condescending. I'm like, it's condescending to tell somebody who's not good looking that they're good looking. And she's like, I fucking hate you. So yeah.
Well, I know Jody. She's the sweetest. She's not just saying it.
I find it condescending. Okay. But those are my
I'm like, oh, hey, Amanda, you look horrendous. Good to see you. You're like, oh, okay, I can get on board.
Like John would say that to me. Sometimes I'll be doing my hair before recording and he'll be like, no, that looks worse than it did 5 minutes ago.
Well, that's supportive.
No, I appreciate it. Anyway, are you both still moving? And I'm just a black
I am.
Okay,
yeah.
Great. I just want to make sure what
you're not a black
and usually
screen,
afterwards you weren't frozen somehow in the video.
It'll come back around. Anyway, he well, thanks for we're back at
So they're gonna go on this trip to the Caribbean and she's like, I can't afford it. He's like, oh, I'll pay. You just have to buy me a big fat margarita. Right?
Done.
I would.
And also, it's all inclusive too.
Let's go. Let's. I'm there. Let's go.
Yeah. It's not like Harry really has anything else to do. So back at Miranda, we're having another sex scene where you can clearly see the tensor bandage, and Miranda tries to. So he pulls out, and then he's about to go, and she's like, "No, stay. Isn't this nice?" And he's like, "No, please."
Oh,
shit.
Good. Now we can talk shit about her. Can you believe what Amanda just said?
This is bad.
I think she can hop back in. We can keep. She's good.
I think she can hop. I think she can.
Yeah.
I mean, fingers crossed, or else she'll text us in a minute.
Yeah.
So so she tries to get him to hold, tries to get him to stay in bed, basically.
Yes.
And then he doesn't want him to, and he goes in this really long rant, and I feel like she probably wrote it down because she's like in charge of that. But the thing that really bothered me here is he has chest hair, right? And he has stomach hair too.
Yeah.
And they pan out on this shot, and his pubic hair has been like trimmed or shaved away or something where there should be some.
Yes.
And this to me is an issue in general.
Okay.
Men keeping body hair. Now, I like body hair. So I think you should keep body hair. But if you're going to keep your body hair, you can't shave off your pubes. You look weird.
I have never thought about that. You have just completely changed my perception of all of this. But I did notice that the shot was very low on him. I thought we'd be able to see some stuff. Hi, Amanda.
Hi, Amanda.
What did I miss? And what did you last hear me say?
Oh,
you just literally disappeared, and then we were like, "Oh no, is she gonna? Maybe she can jump back in." And then I said, "Okay, well, Miranda." He pulls out of Miranda, right? And then yada yada. And the thing that bothered me here, he goes on this rant, and I said that you probably had it written down because you have the notes for that. Yes. But the thing that bothered me, now you jump in here. He had body hair, like chest hair, right? Like stomach hair. But his pubic hair had been trimmed very hard or shaved, all right? So he has no pubes, but he has chest hair and stomach hair. this is an epidemic and a problem. And I was saying to men everywhere, if you're going to have chest hair and like stomach hair, do not shave your pubes. Oh, I like a bush. Thank you.
I do not.
Well, if you're going to shave your bush, then shave your chest and your stomach hair too, because you look weird with chest hair and then a bald dick. I hate bald dicks. I hate them. I think they're disgusting. Sorry.
I guess I feel like whenever I see a full, like, standing naked man, it's very rarely in just like broad daylight where I'd even notice that.
Yeah.
I see that often. I see that often. But.
Very different life.
I say keep your pubes if you're going to have body hair. Thank you and good night.
Fair enough.
Now it's my time to log off. Goodbye.
No, Jonathan.
That's a good point. I just hadn't really thought about it. I really hadn't. I've been married for like 12 years, so I can't remember what it's like.
Right.
Yeah.
I just let everything go. Yeah. Jonathan has this like speech like, oh, it's a miracle. I'm healed. I'm free to go to work with the lepers now. I guess this means I'm not going to hell. Great news. Thank you, Miranda. Thank you for saving my immortal soul. And I actually think this is a pretty funny speech.
It was.
Yes. And he has every right to bitch at her because it's true. Like, who the fuck do you think you are?
I kind of felt uncomfortable by her trying to force him to stay there. He might be being a prick about it, but I don't know. I just think people have weird things. If that's his weird thing, whatever. Like, that doesn't bother me. Whatever. Yeah. I don't know.
I think it especially crossed the line when she's trying to like therapize him. It's like,
it's not
girl, you're not going to change this in one day.
No.
Like, you saying that, trust me, there's plenty of times when I'm already annoyed and then someone says something and you just make, you're like, just shut the fuck up. You should have never said that shit because you've pissed me off even more now. Now I hate your guts. But it does inspire this man to write his play, The Shower of Shame.
Yes. So here's my question to you guys, because I did think this out. All right. So if he's thinking, I'm just totally guessing here. If it's a religious thing and he's thinking premarital sex is a sin, if they got married, would the shower stop?
Oh, yeah, maybe it would.
And then she'd be fine. And there you go.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to marry everybody off. I don't think you should just, you know what I mean? Like,
but that makes sense.
Marry, don't marry regarding sex. But that it just occurred to me. I was thinking about
now, though, if you do go an extra layer, technically sex is supposed to be for procreation. So he might not like it. He might only want to do it when she's like ovulating.
Oh God.
Then he won't shower. If she's ovulating, no shower. If she's not,
that is the least sexy thing I've ever heard. Like clinical shit, right? All right, get out your calendar. Let me see if I need to shower or not.
Oh God. So next, so Samantha here. Samantha and James are like making out.
Wet as fuck. She needs it. She's
he
raging.
Says he loves her.
Like,
she says she loves him too. Yeah,
he's hot.
And she is ravenous. She gets in the bed and she's like, I can't wait. Unzip and get over here. And now, this sex scene is so weird because they're both fully clothed. There's not any motion of like her taking off her underwear. Maybe she's going commando, but there's also no motion.
He unzips his fly. And
he doesn't pull his dick out though.
No. He just unzips it and then goes to her as though it's like ready to just get in.
Yeah, he's ready to get in and she's ready to receive. Like nothing happening.
And I gotta say, if his dick's only 3 inches, the fabric and stuff is like taking even more space away.
The bunching.
Like,
that's just real estate.
Of course she isn't feeling anything.
She goes, okay, I'm ready. Put it in. And he's like, I am in. And just, the words you just do not want to hear. And yes, I have been there. I have definitely been there. Maybe 2-3 times in my life where I'm like,
Kim Cattrall is so funny though. She's such a good actress.
She is.
And that's why, and just like that, should go rot in hell. All right. It should go rot in hell.
Well, she's in that one scene where she's like,
I've seen that
I'm
scene.
on my way to the airport.
I've seen that scene and it disappointing to see.
And they weren't even on set together. Like she got
because
$1 million
stupid Sarah Jessica Parker. Fuck Sarah Jessica Parker.
Oh, I like you even more, John. I feel the same way. Fuck Sarah Jessica Parker and fuck.
I would rather have a Samantha and the City show. Give me Samantha and the City over all the other ones. And I like Miranda, but I hear that You're has
not gonna like
completely jumped shark in all ways in She's
awful. And Jen was the one that pointed out, like,
oh my God,
how bad her teeth are, and like how her mouth doesn't know how to form its way around the teeth, and like it's all I can notice.
It is wild to watch. I got so pissed off. I just kept yelling teeth into my mic over and over. So mad.
No, it's really you will definitely notice it. So
did you ever watch Emily in Paris at all? It's kind of a cheesy show, but I enjoyed it.
Is that Michael Patrick King as well?
No, but it's the other. Who's the one that started Sex in the City? What's the other guy's name? Not Michael Patrick King. The one that was involved. Darren Star.
Oh, Darren Star. Okay.
I think he was involved, and then the costumer,
Patricia Fields.
Patricia Fields. Yeah. So there's a lot of crossover there, and I really enjoy. I mean, it's cheesy, but I enjoyed the show. But my point is, it had to do with a big public relations company over in Paris. So I kept thinking there was a rumor that they would somehow bring Samantha in from public relations in London. So that's what I kept hoping for, but it didn't happen.
Is that show over now?
I don't think so. It kind of got too cheesy. I kind of let it. I didn't even finish the last season, but it was good for a little while. You just kind of have to suspend all belief and realize that, oh, sure, a 20-something could have an apartment in Paris. That's a thing, you know?
Well, maybe in like 15 years when me and John finally run out Sex in the City, Girls, Broad City, Designing Women, and The Golden Girls, all of which have like 20,000 seasons.
The Patreon one we're gonna eventually have to like just quit going over those shows because literally some have hundreds of episodes.
Yes.
We can do like a few months, like certain months where we just do like random other stuff. Yeah.
We're gonna run out of stuff for this podcast. So
yes.
Okay.
So on my Patreon, I did the entire Sex in the City series as well. So I'm very familiar.
Oh, nice.
And yep, I'm I love talking about this stuff though.
Is your Patreon like the same thing, like videos, like exactly the way you do it on YouTube, but it's
exactly the same way? Yes.
Okay, great. Why don't you go ahead and pimp that really quickly? What's the
it's just patreon.com/Real Housewives Recaps. Now you'll find that I mostly do royal family things over there as well, Harry and Meghan stuff. But then if you go back far enough, I finished it up last year, but I did the whole series over there. Yep.
Woo! Oh, nice. What's your favorite episode? If you like quit, like just without thinking.
Oh my God, The Real Me. I think the one where Carrie, because we did that together.
Yeah.
Okay, like and is that the one where she has the fashion show?
Roadkill. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
I don't know why I like that one so much, but
I love that one too.
Falls down. Yeah. What about you, Amanda?
Running with Scissors.
Oh yeah, that one's good too. What about
Hot Child in the City? I like too.
Oh, I was gonna say I like Hot Child in the City.
Is that the one with the guy and the weed and the
she goes to his house and then they go to like the arcade.
Scootin'
Heels. That's right. Yes.
But I mean like I like almost every episode except the one that we watched this season where the guy films his sex partners and then uses them in his art. That one I'm like, I never need to see this shit again. But every other episode, I'm like, this is just like a warm hug. I love it.
The 2 LA episodes are a warm hug.
Oh yeah,
if I was going through a breakup or if I was really sick, those are the episodes I put on.
I also like the ones where they go to the cabin with Big and Aiden.
Those are great too.
Together,
I just got chills. The series is so good. It's about to get like so much better.
But now we have to suffer for weeks. We soon have to suffer for weeks.
And
listen, if you guys have each other, I recap that shit by myself, just yelling into a microphone. Yeah. If you go back and watch my recaps, they're up on my YouTube channel, Real Housewives Recaps on YouTube. You can see me descend into madness because at first, my first episode, I was literally like, okay, this is something. Maybe we'll get something. I'm excited. And then the second episode, I told my husband, I was like, I'm going to get canceled for this, but I can't lie. I literally said, this is why this show sucks. And that's what my
smartest thing you did was that you made your covers for all of them in big letters, no matter what the picture was. It just said, and just like that is the worst.
Yeah.
I
truly feel that way. It wasn't even clickbait. And I would just yell into my mic for an hour. This This is the worst.
Right. So now we're at this bar because Stanford is dating this, like one of his clients, I guess.
I thought that guy was very good looking.
Yeah. I mean,
I wrote down his
they were
name
really
and
trying to
everything.
figure out what to do with Stanford in the first
Oh,
season.
I feel like they
Alan-
were trying
Alan
to
and-
wrap his.
Uh-huh.
I think they were trying to wrap his character up
Yes.
by giving him a boyfriend in this.
Yeah, maybe they were about to go into
episode,
negotiations for season 2, and they're like,
No. I mean, like they knew this was going to be maybe the season finale.
Mhm.
Maybe
Oh.
it didn't necessarily feel like they knew that, but so they wanted to give Stanford like something, throw him a bone. Poor thing.
Yeah. All right.
Yes.
Well, they're at Oh wait, we were at church, right?
Church of
Have we
Disco.
already had the Gherkin?
Yeah. Hold
Oh
on.
yeah, we skipped where Samantha does the is it in thing, then Carrie's at the church with Miranda.
Oh,
And they
yeah, we totally
definitely
skipped that
dressed
part,
in
yeah.
outfits to blend in. Their outfits totally blended in.
incognito. Wearing these stupid hats.
So stupid. And Miranda had on a big orange hat of all things too. I was like, you look like
And
a
these like
tone.
He's just like
white
glowing orange
gloves.
up there.
They both like Miranda had full opera gloves on and like a jacket that had cut off sleeve. She was in one of the ugliest outfits I've seen Miranda in.
People
And
don't
that's
really
a lot.
dress like this for church. I was a cantor for 20
Awful.
years and no one's dressed.
No.
Well, every other person in the church is wearing black. And now I
Yeah.
understand they did that for like effect, but like Carrie can't be that fucking stupid, can she? I mean, like, she's like, you know what? I'm gonna wear bright white, and be right here in the middle.
Biggest hat in the building.
Like,
next to my orange pylon friend. Yeah. So Carrie drops her hymnal like a big idiot because they're sitting in the loft. So she drops her hymnal on the ground, and everyone turns and looks up at her, and Big sees her. So afterwards, she's like, "Fuck, I like have to wait for him now because because he knows I'm here." So.
And can I give you a shout out real quick, Amanda? Amanda and Jody do this thing that I absolutely love when talking about Carrie. That's, I'm tiny. I do these movements because I'm tiny. I'm so tiny. She kind of did that here. And I thought about you, Amanda, when she knocks it over. She's like, oopsie.
I'm so tiny. I can't hold the book. It's so heavy. I'm going to
It's too heavy. Yes.
I'm cold.
So I thought about you during that part. Yes.
So Big comes over and with his mom, and she's like, hi, I'm Carrie. And the mom's like, hi. And Carrie's like, Carrie. And Big's like, oh, this is my friend Carrie. Then the mom goes.
Actually, he says, this is my friend Carrie. And then she tries to go, Carrie. Like,
yeah,
bitch, he hasn't
psychotic.
talked about you to his mother.
Yeah.
All right.
Uh-huh.
Come on.
Yes.
Come on.
So
and she was
mom
just waiting for some sort of recognition from the mom. I just felt like that's all on Carrie, just being Carrie and Carrie.
Very.
Right.
It's uncomfortable.
And she's like, she didn't even know who I was. And Big's like, has a woman even heard of me? And he's like, my mother does not need to meet another girlfriend. And yes, as a 24-year-old watching this, I was like, that was so mean. But I'm like, I understand what he's saying.
Absolutely.
That's nothing against you. That's like,
yeah.
I'll say,
no,
I know my mom.
Grown-up thing. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I know the way my mom is, and I don't tell her a lot of the people that I go on dates with because she will become like, love you, mom, if you're listening, but she'll become nuts about it. She's like, tell me, did you go? Have you seen him again? Or blah 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 blah. Like, chill. I don't even tell her about
100% what my whole entire family would do. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I get it. I totally get it.
It's kind of part of being like I think 30 plus. That's just a thing, right? You just kind of have your own situation. You don't need to involve. Yeah. I'd say 28 plus. Yeah.
and then you have to explain why you broke up later.
Yeah.
So it's just the worst. So I understand what he's saying here. And then he says, look, I have to do things on my time frame, which I get to. And Carrie's like, time frame? We've been together for months. Again, indicating that this is definitely way less than a year.
And it took them a long time to get together to begin with, really.
Yeah.
Because she kept freaking out. She walks out on every date that they go on.
Yes.
It's not like they're in a Charlotte style relationship where she's like head over heels. They're, about to get married, looking at shit for their registry.
Right.
They've had a tumultuous thing leading up to now. So I get, again, Big, I get you.
He goes, look,
are you attracted to Chris Noth? Or Big, I should say.
I like him in black.
Big heads.
Okay. I like him in black. I do like him more in these first seasons. Like, I think he's kind of handsome. In this episode, I did think he was very handsome. And I like his hair this way. So,
would you rather with Aiden or Big? Not personality. I'm talking about just bone zone.
I know that I
probably
should be
Big.
with Aiden, but I would always pick Big because that's just my dating history. I always dump the nice guy for the shitty guy.
I don't
to
like
live
Aiden's
with,
hair.
I would pick Aiden, but for funsies, I'd pick Big. Yeah.
I don't know if I'd want to live with Aiden either, though, because he has this like sensibility where he wants to have like his dog all over. I mean, I guess.
I get what you're saying.
I would love that.
Well, you would have.
There's
but...
the episode. You had 2 dogs and you have a cat.
I know.
For like
I know, but I kind of like Big's lifestyle. He's kind of a little more.
Do you know the episode where Carrie first meets Aiden and like Pete the dog is like humping Carrie, and Aiden, like, do you know this shot? Aiden like picks up the dog and is like, "Hey, get off her!" And he fucking he yeets that dog off camera, like, and you can tell that it was like by accident, but like he throws this dog.
I need to go back and watch that. I missed that.
Like tumbles and rolls.
That's funny. Fucking roll dog.
Like that. Peter would not like that scene. Anyway, so Carrie's now, Big's like, look, we'll talk on the plane. We're going to the Bahamas after. Which if I was Carrie, I'd be like, oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
It's like crisis.
I just
over.
wouldn't have done this at all. I just wouldn't have done this. So,
this is what I would do at age 23. I'm not doing this in my mid 30s. So
even then, at age 23, I don't think I would.
Much effort to put into a man.
So stupid.
Later, Carrie's sitting in the pew and Miranda comes in, and this is a really nice little friendship moment where Miranda's like, I didn't leave, you didn't seem okay, and Carrie tells her what happened, and
it's a nice moment, but Carrie ushered Miranda away. She does that constantly. Anytime there's a guy around, she sends her friends away. Why didn't Miranda stay there to say hello? What is the big fucking
like when
deal?
she makes Samantha get out of the bathtub when on the long journey, she's like, Samantha, and Samantha's like, I'm in the bubble bath.
Yeah, she was supposed to meet Miranda for drinks or whatever that time, and she's like, well, Big made veal. It's like
she does it with Alexander too when she's supposed to. Her friends are waiting for her, and she's like, "Oh yeah, it's just cold." She goes, "It's cold outside. I'm
cold." Yes.
I'm here with the session. Do you want to tell us? We've been waiting for 35 minutes before we could order.
She's a really bad friend. Yeah. The worst, though, you know where I'm going with this, Amanda. The worst friend is the paper covers rock over when Charlotte got engaged. Do you remember?
Oh, yeah.
Berger broke up with her on a Post-it.
Yeah, no. That's right.
Miranda's announcing her engagement, and Carrie's like, paper covers rock.
I'm more important because
you're
of this
the
Post-it.
worst friend ever.
Although that's one of my favorite camera shots is when she gets the end of that episode where she gets the Post-it and she knocks over all those carnations. And
yeah.
That's a really good camera shot. Yeah, it's really beautiful. Anyway, Carrie tells Miranda what happens, and then Carrie's like, I can't get inside. I just don't know what else to do. Well, you could relax. Because he literally just said to you, everything's fine. Yeah. I have to do things on a timeline. Calm down. She's like, there's nothing I can do. This is over. So next, everyone goes to Stanford's party. Here we are at this party. And he's dating this like thirst trap. And Stanford says that he's talking to Karen. He's like, today we shop for handles for his armoire. And we're turning into one of those couples that we hate. And I love it. And Stanford asks Carrie, like, well, what's up with you and Big? What's going on? And she's like, he doesn't want to introduce me to his mother. And he's like, oh. So now Miranda's at the bar and up walks Skipper. We thought we were done with Skipper. I forgot that he came back a second
Skippity
time.
doodah. Yay.
I love Skipper.
Poor guy. Yeah.
He's Steve 1.0. And Skipper says, oh, it's funny I ran into you. I've been totally thinking about you ever since we broke up, which I think is a really funny line. Yeah. And now we're in the bathroom. And all 4 ladies are there, and Samantha was like, oh, I had sex with James. And Charlotte's like, oh my God, I'm so happy for you. And the Samantha starts crying and runs into the stall. They're like, what's wrong? And Samantha's like, James has a small dick. And Carrie's like, oh, it's not the end of the world. And Samantha's like, it's really small. And Miranda's like, how small? And Samantha's like, too small. And Carrie's like, sizes and everything. And Samantha goes, 3 inches? Hard. And then Carrie's like, and Charlotte goes, is he at least a good kisser? And Samantha goes, oh, who cares? His dick is like a fucking gherkin. And the girls are like, oh, you know, we've all been there. And Samantha's like, no, you don't understand. I love a big dick. I love it inside me. I love looking at it. I love everything about it. When I blow him, it's like nothing, literally nothing. And then she runs out and she takes a oh no. So Charlotte makes this about her for some reason.
After the bar, Charlotte decides she's going to go to some witch doctor situation randomly.
Yeah, it's like that part of New York that no one ever talks about. And then we just end up in like some black person's apartment. So I'm like, what are you implying here? Like, what are you in, like, you're in the Bronx? So
with chickens and like shit. There's chickens everywhere.
Okay, well, anyway, so this woman like does this thing where she cracks an egg and there's no yolk in it, and then the translator guy's like, there's no yolk, it means you will never get married, you are cursed, but for $50 we can fix that for you, or whatever, or for $100 we can take care of that. So now Charlotte, she's so silly me, this is all so silly, and this is her wrap up. It's just like Charlotte decided that she was just going to keep believing and it will happen.
It was like her smiling.
Okay. Yes.
I don't believe that for one bit or for one moment.
No.
How do you get an egg with no yolk?
I think they probably have a bunch of like manufactured eggs and they do this to everyone.
I guess. Oh, so they're saying maybe that the tarot reader was like trying to scam Charlotte too, or
oh yeah, for sure. You just pop a hole in the egg and drain the yolk out of it. Just a small hole in it, and you can drain it out.
Yeah.
So do you have a history in scamming people with
I totally do.
Jen's like, oh yeah,
no, I don't remember why I've done kids projects before where you do shit like that. I don't know. And that's how I met my husband. No, I'm just
I locked him in. So back at the bar, Miranda asks Skipper to come. They're making out, and she's like, come spend the night. He's like, the whole night? She's like, yeah. And he goes, I knew we'd get back together. And Miranda's like, oh, you did? And Skipper's like, yes. Every night I'd say a little prayer and I'd light a candle. And Miranda's like, you're a freak. But I think that this was funny. So that's a funny wrap up on Miranda, at least.
Yeah.
Okay, but if a guy actually lit a candle and said a prayer to get back with you every night, I would not. I'm not rolling.
Piss off. That. Yeah, that's a stalker.
And I believe that Skipper was doing that. I don't think he was joking.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, he was not being ironic in any way.
No, I think yeah.
So over to Samantha. Her and James are having sex, and she's just crying. And I think that wraps up her entire storyline. She's just because we do go into the next episode, the take me out to the ball game, where they go to the baseball game and Carrie's in that fur coat.
Okay, because she has a thing, and she's like, there's James and his teeny tiny penis.
There's James and he's like teeny tiny penis. Yeah, that's right.
Take care of my angel, something like that, he says. Yeah.
So Carrie is now walking around her apartment smoking. She's got a really cute outfit on. It's like this blue kind of sailor skirt, white top, and then red heels, which is an insane outfit to wear on a plane, but fine. Over to
she has gloves on though too.
Yeah, so she's waiting for Big to come pick her up in the cab, and she comes down, and Big's like, hurry, get in, we're late. And she's like, no, wait, put down the bags. And she's like, I need a sign. I mean, you told me to have faith, but I'm kind of losing mine, so I just need a sign. And Big's like, what, like in those old religious movies, you want like voices from above? And Carrie's like, no, just tell me I'm the one. Come on. You don't tell your mother or the whole world, just tell me. And then he can't say anything, and Carrie's like, I can't do this. I just can't do this right now. So, like there's a cab driver, and Big's like, so no, just get in the cab. And she's like, no, I can't. I love you, but I can't. And he's like, so that's it? And then he just leaves. And does he go to the Bahamas, do you think? I fucking would.
I would.
I think so, because I think they refer back to it. I was thinking I thought
I'd upgrade my ticket to first class, trade hers in, and get myself up there, baby.
Can you get a refund? That late?
I have no idea.
I'm sure you could say, so. Hey, my dumb bitch girlfriend decided that she just can't do it because I won't introduce her to my mom at church. So could you help me out here?
Charm one of the
there you go.
Charm the person at the desk. So he leaves, and then my last.
She cried for a week after that.
Yeah.
The end.
I hate this ending so much. It doesn't make any sense. Why not just go? And exactly. I mean, she's always looking to bond with him. You'd have him one-on-one for her.
True. There's a good chance that they would have gone on this vacation and he would have decided that he loved her by the end of it.
Exactly.
People always fall in love on
introduce her to his mother or whatever. Yeah, maybe.
Mm-hmm. And you really got to think, his mom seemed like kind of like a staunch bitch. So I get it. She was like she didn't seem like someone who was like going to be like, oh my God, like so like, you know.
Tell me about your relationship. Yeah.
Tell me about your sex column, John.
Yeah.
That's definitely the trend here of the rewatch. I mean, okay, so this is the first, the end of the season, right? And if our idea here is that we are reliving this, you know, through our lives, it is interesting, like, on the rewatch that Carrie is shitty in my mind. I never really thought she was shitty back in the day.
I never did either. I always heard people talking about what a bitch she was, and now I'm really seeing it.
And I also never was attracted to Big back in the day, but now that I'm older and can appreciate a bit of maturity, I'm like, oh, baby. So
and
it's been really fun.
And the wealth,
No, any man who wants to pay to take me on a trip to the Bahamas and looks like Big and has like, come on, he doesn't have bleeding boils. Come on, jeez.
God, when we left that hotel, there was
that guy was rich.
No, he lived in his mom's basement.
Oh my God.
And he's like, this is a sweet setup I got here. I'm like, yeah, all the other people in your house have to walk through your own bedroom to do their laundry.
How long did you date this guy? So I can judge you a little bit.
he was really good sex. I will say that. It was like really good sex. So that was all it was for me. But then he like started calling me his girlfriend, and he started like making like regular Friday dates at my house, like sleepover night. He wanted to see me every night, but I'm like, okay, I'll see you once a week on Fridays. I was a total bitch to this guy. And but then like he planned this trip, and then I was talking for months about how I was dreading it. And then by the end, Jody and my mom were like, you have to go. Like you should, it's too late. You have to go on this trip. And it was just as bad as I thought it would be. But anyway, do you want to read our
I do.
So email?
Yes. We do have a letter. So buckle in, friends. Here we go. And we don't usually, this is an anonymous letter. So if you would like to contribute an anonymous sexy sex-ish story, please email us at PATC.
We need them for all of the next season of And Just Like That.
Oh, y'all. We need lots of sex stories then, please. All right. So I had gone on a few dates with this guy I met on Plenty of Fish. Oh my God, never again. In his bio, he seemed normal, and I was desperate after the guy who used me as a urinal.
Oh my God. No, I need more about that story, please.
Preview so that is another story that this lovely listener has sent in, and I am saving it for the episode where
so you're not even reading that one. Okay.
No, Carrie dates that guy, the guy running for office, and he wants to pee on her in the shower.
Yes. Yeah, John Slattery.
I'll probably, So I'm hoping I'll remember this at that time. Anyway, so a man previously used this tried to use this person as urinal. All right, Jesus Christ. Oh my Lord. All right, I decided to give him a chance, even though his profile actually leaned a bit more Jesus-y than I am. I figured he was born in the South and had good morals. Okay, great. We start hooking up, and he's literally going for my butt with his finger. No foreplay, no sex. This is like after making out. I pushed his hand away something like 4 times before he flipped out and stood up and goes, okay, what's going on here? I said, yeah, what is going on? I don't know what you're doing.
Oh, she's the one acting insane.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
he goes into a... Okay, so actually this... You know what? Surprisingly...
Story.
Surprisingly, this fits into our, wow, how perfect. So, she's like, yeah, what is going on? I don't know what you're doing. He goes into a fit of rage about how he only gets turned on by anal. He can only climax from anal. He isn't into vagina. He doesn't understand why all girls nowadays are prudes. And why didn't I fucking tell him I wasn't into it? I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm uncomfortable with this. And he goes, yeah, sure you are. And then I said before I kicked him out that he should have mentioned his preferences before we went out 4 times.
Yeah.
The next time I was on that dating site, I looked him up and he had updated his profile and it said something like, I love anal. You women are all prudes. Just admit you love it. Don't even respond unless anal is in the cards.
Oh my God.
Like, I want to know,
like,
do women like respond to that?
Oh my God.
I think some people really like getting it in the butt.
I don't believe that any woman loves it.
I think there are. Amanda, there are women who like everything. Yeah, people like you when you shit on them. Like, come on. If like,
I don't even begrudge that. That's not
sorry,
the
Jen.
issue I have. No, it's okay. No. Listen, enjoy, have fun if that's your thing, but don't be a dickhead about it. Girls
For real.
these days are awful. You know what I
Acting
mean?
like this is the first person he's ever met who doesn't love getting it up the butt.
Also, the fact that they're making out and he just tries to start fingering her butthole. I mean, that's a bit.
Like, anal sex is a conversation you need to have beforehand, especially but like a straight couple, you should definitely, that should be something that is discussed.
Even a gay couple, you need to talk about it, because if you're gonna take it, like, I would at least want to make sure that like things are good back there before you start sticking your fingers in.
Yeah, just the whole thing just strikes me odd. Like what you like, I don't have issue with that, but to be so aggressive about it, John, it'd be like, I'm looking for a nice guy. Fuck women, you know? It's like, no, you just, you know, like, you get to know somebody and find out what they like. You don't. That's crazy.
That's why I'm grateful that I'm not a straight woman every day.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Sorry,
a straight single
sorry,
woman.
ladies.
But
so
especially when you get to a certain age, you get like in dating, I'd say like maybe past the age of 35, and you like meet these guys and like you have a couple great dates, and there's always that thought like, but why has he never been married, or like why is he still single?
Okay, here's a question.
It's a moment like that where you're like he leaves your house and you're like, there it is. There's always something.
But what's the difference?
A serial killer with his anger issues.
I got really mad.
This is as a 38-year-old who's never been married. But how is that worse than someone who's been married and divorced?
Well, totally. I feel like
a lot of people want to put on this thing like, oh, you haven't been married yet. You're fucked up.
I feel like men can get away with a lot by being a widower.
Oh no, that would be a red flag. I'd be scared that he murdered her.
But if she died, if you had like specific proof that she died of like a horrible disease.
Okay, yeah.
They talk about this on Sex and the City
too. News, Amanda? People are killing people.
Oh,
I also think
of the different ways that I could be murdered.
Yeah.
But a man who loses his wife like that, you're never going to be able to replace her.
That's true too. That is true.
Oh, I'd almost rather. Oh no. Okay. Yeah. Great. I don't like where that conversation was.
I'm just usually turned off by aggression, and all I can hear in that is he's not sexy aggressive, like anger aggressive, and that's
she got out in perfect timing.
Yeah,
get out
exactly.
Early. You don't need that shit.
I'm glad you're still alive, whoever you are.
Yeah. Yep.
So that concludes the end of our episode. We would like to say, if you would like to join our Patreon, it's patreon.com/@pod. Oh no, not @pod in the city. That's our YouTube. Pod in the City. If you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe. Our YouTube channel, it's youtube.com/@pod.
We only need like 100 more before we get our first super stickers or whatever.
Yay! And I believe. I mean, Jen also has a following, so hopefully maybe some of her nice listeners could just or viewers could maybe subscribe if you're coming over from Jen's. Speaking of, we're so fucking lucky to have Jen from Real Housewives Recaps.
You did it.
No,
Anyway.
I'm so glad you had me on. I'm so appreciative of that. I'm really enjoyed this. So anytime you want to talk about this stuff, I'm down.
Well, go ahead and pimp yourself out in whatever way you'd like to right now.
Oh, okay. Are we talking about butt stuff still? Or are we talking about, no, I'm kidding.
Well, if you like fabulous butt stuff, I don't know.
Thank you so much. I mean, honestly, the easiest way to find me is just on YouTube. I'm Real Housewives Recaps.
Is it at Real Housewives Recaps now? They like changed everything to an at symbol now.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I think if you just search up Real Housewives Recaps, you can see this is my logo here, and you can find me that way. But yeah, find me there. And I just started a new channel. I mean, literally this week. And I'm doing a travel channel as well. So you can see a link to that. You can see a link to that. I love to go to England. Again, royal family, right? So I'm trying to go to adventures and stuff. But right now it's just Disney stuff because I live in Florida. It's easy for me to get to Disney. So it's Goose Adventures is what that is, but that's fine. You can find me at Real Housewives Recaps. You can see the links to all my other stuff from there. But yeah.
And check out her Patreon. Jen, it's always a pleasure to chat with you, and definitely pick an episode for And Just Like That because we'd love to have you back.
Okay, all of them. I can't wait to see John cry. And John, I really like you. It's nothing personal. It's just
the extra layer is that they're twice as long. Too.
I know.
They're like, it's like, are they trying to fucking kill me?
And
seriously,
so much Che. So
anyway, though,
and Che always has their hand in one pocket, just like always.
And Miranda's usually doing something disturbing. It doesn't matter what it is. She's doing something disturbing. Miranda is. Yeah.
There's a really good scene, though, where Steve, it always comes up on my TikTok after she leaves him and he comes back and he's like pissed and he fucking screams at her. And it is so good. And the whole audience was like, yes. Like they knew that we needed that, where he's just fucking berating her.
So I actually sold merch Justice for Steve, and people still buy that off me too. Justice for Steve, because he was like screwed over big time in the and Just Like That.
Yeah, and I guess he must have gotten like a cochlear implant for season 2 because his deaf storyline just kind of went away.
Yeah, it just went away. Yeah,
stupid deaf storyline. So
he kind of got screwed over in Sex and the City 2, the movie, though. Too.
He did. I think so too.
I don't like what they've done to Steve. Anyway,
I feel like Sex and the City 2 and forward is not canon.
Yeah,
it ends with Sex and the City 1.
Well, here's what I always like to say. Nothing lasts forever. Dreams change, trends come and go, but friendships never go out of style. Bye, guys.
Indeed. Bye. Say bye, Jen.
Bye, Jen.
Bye. Thank you.